Hehe, I'm so good at this game, bruh. Look, this guy isn't even hitting me back. I'm so good, I'm a god. Hehe. Hey. Wait, what? Who are you? You're a literal doo-doo water, you suck at this game, and watching you makes me cringe. I don't suck. Shut up and listen. I'm you from the future, and here are 10 tips that will make you waste much lesser time than now, and if you don't listen, well, I will kill you. Okay, what did I do? You know what? Wait! First of all, let me just say thank you so much for the views, likes, and comments on my last FF14 video. I never dreamed of it to be received so well and by so many. It also gave me 10 plus more subscribers, which again, thank you. That being said, I'm now going to make several series with FF14. The first of course being yearly summary, then different guides, and finally my response playthroughs. The third one may be not so soon since I'm currently still on my vacation. Now for the first guide, it will focus on quality of life details that I wish I knew when I started. These points may or may not be useful to you because it may just be me being dumb when I first played the game. So without further ado, this video will cover 10 quality of life details that new players may or may not know or pay attention to when being introduced to them. Also, right now is a great time to join FF14 since the story that has been going on for 10 years has just concluded and a new journey is starting. The first thing is Aethernets. Yes, I know this is a thing that was introduced very early on in the game, but I did not pay too much attention to attuning to these things when I started, which caused me to be running like an ape going wild in the main cities. I would highly recommend anyone who just started the game to pay specific attention to attuning to these things. It takes less than 5 seconds to tune to these and will save you hours upon hours as you progress. FF14 is a game that basically throughout the game will ask you to revisit places that you have traveled to before, and having a city fully attuned with Aethernets, you would be able to just teleport to the quest that you have been given at the time, since most of the quests in the city take place near Aethernets. In more complex cities such as Uda, which I still do not really like because of my negligence in Aethernets, these things will help you a lot, at least make you not spamming your sprint key getting lost in the city. Then we come to the map. FF14's map system can be a bit confusing when you first open it, which was definitely the case for me. So in simple terms, there are 3 layers to its map system. The biggest one is the world map. Here you can view pretty much the entirety of Eorzea, but it does not have any details to it other than the country's name. In my case, it was only useful when locating a quest in a different main city, which basically means you click on the quest and it will guide you to a certain point on the map. If the region has not been explored before by you, then it probably can be accessed through the region that you received the quest, then the regional map. Definitely the more useful one here. Through the regional map, you can have a rough overview of every regions in that specific country or whatever it is called. Through there, you can see how each region is connected with one another and thus how to access them if you have not been there yet. And if clicking on a specific region, you can see where is the main Aethernets is or are even when the map is not fully opened yet, which is the third layer of FF14's map system. Here is probably where a player will spend the most of the time in, since it is where the main navigation will take place. And if you are tired of closing the map on accident, then you can lock the map in place through the lock map key, which is on the map screen. Moving on to the third point, we got the click and drag of pretty much any function key to hotbars. For instance, you can drag the teleport page, fashion, accessories, item, character, quick access directly onto your hotbar. This may be insignificant at first, but trust me, it will save times as time moves on. A particularly important key is the teleport key in my case. There are 2 ways to teleport in FF14. One is to click on a main Aethernet that you have attuned to before on the map, and the other is to teleport through the teleportation page. The first method is the dominant method, but the second method has become so vital to me that as there are certain areas in the game that will take you a long time to find a way through the map to navigate to if using the first method. For instance, Dolmen fucking Enclave. It was fine when the MSQ quest can just guide your map page to that area when going through it during the story, but there is an interesting quest line that happens there only after the expansion in the region is so much more easier to teleport to if you use the teleportation page. then Chocobo Saddlebag and Chocobo Companion. When you reach a certain point in the game, you will receive a Chocobo, but after that, you are not required to do anything more with the questline. What the game doesn't tell you is that if you keep doing the Chocobo questline, you will be able to unlock the Chocobo Saddlebag, which basically functions literally. It is an extra store place for your character. Your inventory will eventually reach a point that it is full, and at that point, having 4 more pages of inventory to save your items in become extremely handy. Then the Chocobo Companion. The same quests also give you the ability to summon your Chocobo in open world combat such as Fates. However, in order to summon your Chocobo in battle, you gotta have this green shit, which you can buy from the market board for cheap. To have your Chocobo beside you when doing open world stuff is critical if you're a DPS and like to pull more than one enemy. Why? Because it can heal you, it can pull enemy aggro, and it can also output damages, and it also looks cool standing beside you. Next, we got a challenge log. This is a system that I believe the game simply did not formally introduce to the players. You can unlock it through this quest here, and once completed, it can provide weekly renewed objectives that give various forms of rewards such as EXP, gills, gold saucer money, and much more. To me, the most valuable part definitely is the golden saucer bonus. This bonus, if you completed all of them, give you around multiple 10k's reward, which can significantly speed up your saucer grind. It is like something nice to have because you would be doing at least something from that list during the week more than once, and it functions as a bonus to your actions. Moving on, we have Legacy Movements, which is pretty self-explanatory. It changes the character's movement style. This function to me is the most visibly helpful in dungeons and raids. To be able to cast and run back at the same time without having to maneuver your camera in order to run back can be literally lives. Notice the use of plural form here, saving, in critical situations. And it also alleviates your combo pressure if you're DPS, since you don't have to be constantly worried about your camera placement in battle and thus can instead focus on your combos and dodging the enemy attacks. Now Limit Break. I do not know fucking why it was not formally introduced to the players from the very first dungeon, and if it did, I can't believe how fucking dumb I am. So basically, it is an action that correlates to the yellow bar that you see in a dungeon or raid, which increases through the players' actions. The bar itself goes up to 3 in a party of 8 and 2 in party of 4. With each bar full, you can perform a limit break. 1 bar being the weakest, 2 being stronger, and 3 being the strongest. Note that this is a shared bar among your party members, meaning as soon as one person uses the limit break, the yellow bar will go to 0 for all the other members. Usually tanks and healers do not need to use limit break, especially in dungeons, and a melee DPS should use the bar during the final boss fight or probably the second to last boss fight in a dungeon. And do not use it when the boss has like 1 HP. When the bar is filled to 2 in a dungeon, just fucking use it to save everybody sometimes because it is not going up anymore. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit emotional. There has been definitely some times when I'm tanking and the DPS just simply refuse to use limit break or save it for the very last second. And a ranged DPS can choose to use limit break because it can target multiple enemies when facing a large group of adds in a dungeon. Now we have the gold saucer.
Addicted? I'm not addicted, I'm just dedicated, okay?
In order to unlock it, you got to reach a certain point in the MSQ and complete this quest here. This is a place where stuffs happen every 20 minutes, the reward changes upon the games that you participate in or the gates that you participate in. It is a place to unwind and relax. I wish I could have found this place sooner since it is genuinely fun to do and would have alleviated my burnout with the game a lot sooner. You got the gates, which is the 20-minute cycle, the daily reward in the form of number guessing that you have 3 tries, weekly number guessing, mini games, chocobo races, and others. All of these give you rewards in the saucer money, and the rewards is always greater than the money you put in. Through this money, you can buy various stuff that is saucer specific. My personal favorite is the Fairy Month and the Cactus Month, which would cost you 3 million saucer money. However, if you complete the weekly reward for saucer from the challenge log and do the fashion report, you would be earning at least 100k plus per week, since fashion report itself would give you 60k by itself for getting a score above 80. And for fashion report, you don't even have to figure it out yourself. I usually just go to Mione's YouTube channel every Friday. Similar to the saucer, now we have the hunts. Hunts become unlockable when you reach 2nd Lieutenant in your respective Grand Company and complete one of the following quests. This is your introduction to the hunt system, then each expansion comes with its own version of hunts that are usually locked behind 3 to 4 easy quests. Normal hunts are separated into 4 categories, with 3 of them being refreshed daily and 1 refreshed weekly. These can be accessed through the guild ship hunt board, which you can find on your maps through the icon like this. There are other forms of hunts as well, but this video will not cover them as they are more advanced topics. For these 4 types of hunts, they give varying degrees of rewards, and the ones from Shadowbringer and Endwalker were the one that I consider to be worthwhile in doing, because the hunts from these 2 expansions share the same rewards, sacks of nuts, which can then be used to purchase various forms of rewards, including this really cool fashion accessory wing, plus a lot more. With that, we come to the final thing that I wish I knew. Inns or hotels, whatever you want to call it. Yes, this was also something introduced early on that I did not pay attention to. Here, you not only get access to the glamour dresser that allow you to quote-unquote store your no longer needed but looks cool armors and weapons, but also a cool animation for you to exit the game. My character for a very long time would just log out the game while facing a main Aethernets. Even though I believe the rest EXP bonus is the same as if you would sleep in a bed, I hope that's the case. But the role-playing element definitely did not add up. My character was probably in a severe sleep deprivation like me IRL for a very long time. There are also other stuffs in the hotel room that you can do, such as retainer, mini-games, and orchestration roles. Also, when you click on the bed, you can choose to try out the online source outfit or accessories. Hotels are pretty much in every main cities and can be seen through this little symbol on your map. Overall, I just like the option for my character to sleep after a long day of grind. With that, this video has now come to an end. There are obviously a lot more other stuff that I wish I knew, but these 10 were probably the most important 10 that I wish I knew. There are other stuff such as the macro key that allow your character's shiny weapon to be shiny while you sheathed it. And there are also other macro keys that are really useful for you to, such as when you're crafting, gathering, and these sort of stuff. But those may be in a future video. Next guide will most likely be about tanking and DPS introductory tips, and from there I will come up with something more. If you like this video, please leave a like or maybe even subscribe. And if you are also into anime, I also do these really cool anime battles on this channel, so definitely check them out. Those videos will be uploaded much more frequently since they're easier to make. And for now, peace out and thanks for watching.